Hi, hello, welcome to this brand new channel. I just finished this sketchbook 2 weeks ago, so let's do a sketchbook tour. And before we get started, a quick content warning that my sketchbook does contain a lot of nudity, maybe a little bit of gore, so if you don't want to see that, you've been warned. And on the cover, these two stickers are from Vicious Bumblebee on Instagram, and the rest are just stickers from food and random stuff from Amazon and stuff that were free with notebook or planner orders. And this is what the sketchbook is. It's a square 30 by 30 centimeter, which is 11.8 or almost 12 inches, mixed media sketchbook by Menorah. And I started it on the 28th of October 2022, and I finished it on the 11th of March 2023. And on the first page is a fine liner drawing, and I don't remember anything about it. I like their expressions though. And so I have a problem with collecting trash, and being able to stick it into my sketchbook gives me an excuse to keep doing it. This is a drawing of a melusine. This is a printout of a digital sketch I transferred onto watercolor paper for painting. And this is actually the page that I left for last in the sketchbook. And I guess I never finished it. And this was a lilac marker and black brush pen phase. So I used the Zig Furibiuri lilac to do the rough sketch, and then the black Tombow Furinosuke to do details on top. And for the characters, I used Pick Crew. A lot of them have a randomize button, and I put the numbers of the Pick Crews that I used right under each one. I want to do a paint over of this one because I quite like it. More of that. Yeah, also the characters are quite changed from what was originally generated. Pick Crew is all SFW as far as I can tell. And also I don't work too chronologically in my sketchbook. I use the pages like whenever I need, and without worrying about leaving empty spaces. And later I come back and use up the spaces like this flower here. This is a drawing based on this from Aldrovandi's Monstrum Historia. So I went through a phase that I'm actually still in, where I draw my own versions of really interesting and strange or funny looking medieval art. This is the same kind of thing. This is a printout of a watercolor painting that I did, and it's up on my Instagram if you want to see it. These are swatches of this koi set. When I got it, I thought that I'd probably made a bad decision because of boredom, but it's actually been quite useful. And these are sketches of like a really old OC who I was trying to draw again, and I was trying to figure out an intro drawing for her. You'll see it later in the sketchbook. Okay, so here I realized that the Zig lilac marker that I was using, it was just running out of ink too fast. So I tried making a water brush and putting some fountain pen ink, and the ratio was like 30 drops of ink to like a full barrel, so it was very diluted, but it worked pretty well. And so that's what I started using instead. And these flowers are from later. So this is the start of a flower painting phase, and I covered the first few because they were so bad. This one is also pretty bad, but yeah. This is a December palette apparently that I tried coming up with, and I never used it, and maybe I will one day. This is that was also another bad flower. This is the first flower that started turning out okay, I think. This is also a digital sketch printout for a watercolor painting. It's also up on my Instagram if you want to see it. And I guess something I never inked. Okay, this is another old OC that I wanted to draw again, and this is the pose I decided on, and it's also later in the sketchbook. And More sketchy poses with Pick Crew. Yeah, moths were another small phase. They look nothing like how they do in real life because I was using a very curated palette, so I had a limited range of colors to work from. But I prefer it. I like it that way. Oh, and if you can see, there are a bunch of like random sketches under these paintings. Knowing that I can come back and draw on top of them makes it easy for me to not care at all about wasting pages or whatever. And if there's a pose I like these, I leave them and then I write down what I want to use it for. This was supposed to be a comet moth. I tried to draw this again because I really liked it, but it didn't go well. Okay, so this is where it started, like the drawing my versions of medieval art. I did this one first. It's based on an illustration from a 1400s French manuscript. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce this title, but it translates to the Moralized Love Failures book, apparently. And this is based on a drawing in another 1400s manuscript. And this one, it translates to a mirror of human salvation. Oh, also, for a lot of these, I use the Derwent Graphitin to paint details onto the sketch. And they have like a grayish muted look to it that I love, and it also matches the theme of it, I think. This is based on, you know, those margin drawings? Those weird cat snails that everyone seemed to be drawing those days? From the book of ours. And oh, this one is based on a drawing in a Turkish manuscript. It's called Wonders of Creation, and I'm actually working on a full-fledged painting of this because I really like it. Another ramen packet. This is my review of it. I don't like how this one turned out. This was also for a painting, and it's also up on my Instagram. So I had a voucher painting phase, and none of these are accurate to what they look like because I should have started by studying their shapes and all, but I just wanted to paint, so it's whatever. It was fun. And this, we can't get it where I live, but I really like it, and who knows when I'll be able to eat it next. I hate this. This is also a digital sketch printout, and it was for an ink piece this time. And this little page is from an A6 sketchbook that I had around 2 years ago, and I hated it. It was too small, so I took it apart. Oh, also about the random stickers that are everywhere. Like, I got a pack of sticker sheets free with a planner, and they're like just the most generic stickers, and I don't care about them, so I just put them everywhere where there's a space that I can't use. And this mess, this was I have a cheap paint set, and all of the colors were used up except for a phthalo blue and like 3 greens. So from here on out, I just keep desperately trying to finish up those 3 colors. This suspicious thing is based on a margin drawing from like a 16th century songbook. Oh, this is the failed drawing of the Pick Crew character from before that I was talking about. Like, I just got the proportions completely wrong. I like the concept of this, but the execution was just bad. Oh, about the little names that are under these drawings, it's the photographer's names whose photos I used. If the sketch is more of a copy and I can find their names, then I always write them down. I still love this piece. I drew it around Christmas, and I want to paint it for real. Over here I was testing stuff that I got. This fountain pen ink. It's from Lapis Bard, and it's called Matcha Bee's Knees. And I'm obsessed with it. And I also got a glass tip pen for the first time, and unexpectedly I love it a lot. I want to do a full painting of this as well. I just really like how it looks. So apparently there's a collection of manuscripts that document a carnival called this. And once again, I don't know how it's said, but apparently it translates to Running of the Masked Men. Now, I could finally justify getting a second rod ring. Okay, so this is the other phase that I'm still kind of in, which is making more insect-based OCs. And this was the first one, and I was trying to tone it down, but I realized soon that it's best to do whatever I want, or else I won't be happy with the design. And this next character is based on the Malaysian scorpion-tailed spider. So I wanted this greenish-blue color for them, and their tails, they host colonies of symbiotic ants that are their food source, and some thumbnails that probably only make sense to me. Okay, so this was actually for a DTIYS by SA_VE Digital on Instagram, and the only thing I like how this hair turned out a lot, but other than that, I just didn't like it, and I was gonna redo it, so I left this space for like thumbnails for a new piece for it, but I just never had the time, and like it's too late now. This is the final drawing from the posed thumbnail from way back, but the other old OC. I posted it with a digital screen tone on it actually, and the ink everywhere is like a test, and this duo shading sort of effect on this ink, like if it's used with water, and I just love this. This is another drawing that I absolutely still love, and the cave took forever, but I think it was worth it, and I think the colored ink gives it like some extra depth without having to actually color everything. And anyway, this is Anna. A group of adventurers found her in a cave and gave her the most generic spider name they could think of. And this page is characters based on orangutan crabs, and apparently I like this color for them, and thumbnails that only make sense to me. This one is based on the triangular spider, and I need to draw this for you. This one is based on an orb weaver. Okay, and this one was more challenging. It was based on the Icerine scale insect, but I struggled to like infer the characteristics of the insect in a way that I liked, even though I found the actual insect itself to be like really interesting. This is one of the initial concept sketches for a commission I was doing, and this started as just a doodle to cover up a Dutch sketch. I didn't plan it at all, but somehow I really liked the result, and I want to draw her for real too. Okay, this one was based on the owlfly, and this is their larval form, and this was based on their adult form, and I wanna draw this face for real, so these are thumbnails for that. Another thing from Eldravandi's Monstrum Historia. This was a freeform drawing with absolutely no thoughts, and for some reason I really like it. Okay, this is based on the leaf-footed bug nymph. So I have to talk about this ink mix. So I got a bunch of normal fountain pen inks from Siahi, and I was hoping that I could get something interesting by mixing them, and I got exactly that with their blue and red. And I have it in a water brush that I use for shading all the time now. As for this, so apparently this creature washed ashore one day, and you can read the little bit of info on it if you want. I got some Shinhan PWC paints. I like how glossy this crab turned out, but I didn't paint its front claws because I didn't want to. And this is just a cutout from a coloring book that a teacher had given me a long time ago, so I unearthed it recently, and I guess I'm gonna stick it everywhere now, just to use it up. This is from another 1400s French manuscript. It's pretty much the same creature. I didn't change anything about it. This tail was really fun. And this seahorse took way more time than it was worth. This is completely messed up. Another creature based on a drawing in Monstrum Historia. Should have been a lot rounder. And another one. By the way, I've just been going through the entire book page by page on archive.org. They have a lot of public domain books. Okay, this was based on sap feeding bark bugs. And this is like the final thumbnail that I'm going to use it for. Final drawing. Something about how their joints work just feels so cute to me. This is also pretty much the same drawing from Clavis Artists. It's just stylized in my way. And apparently it depicts an alchemist who has achieved illumination, whatever that means. I got the De La Rani watercolor pocket set because there was like a huge discount on it. Monstrum Historia, and I don't know why I even attempted this. This is a drawing based on this. I used the dip pen for this one. Okay, so I got more ink from Siahi, and this turquoise, I use it to write with all the time now. And here I finally resurrected the Lamy Safari dupe brush pen that I had, and I need to find a new one, but for some reason I can't find it anywhere now. And also this, I finally made a gray water brush pen. And the last page. So this is the first one of a parasitic wasp character trio that I'm making. And apparently this one was a newly discovered species, so it doesn't have a common name. But they parasitize caterpillars, and their color is just like this beautiful iridescent blue, and I really need to paint her fully one day. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you did, then please subscribe so that we can get this channel started. And feel free to suggest what kind of videos you would like to see from me. I'm thinking of doing sketchbook, draw with me type of videos of like art challenges, art style, color palette, character design type of challenges. So I hope I will see you in the next video.